2019, we sold it all and moved into a 2020 Montana fifth wheel and took our stories on the road.
So come along with us, will you, as we share our stories and our adventures on the road. And I got lots of stories, Riders in the Storm.
Yeah, Steve's full of it.
Thanks, Patty. Join us. Travel with us on the road, Riders in the Storm. Okay, hi everybody. We're back out at the LTVA. We actually went into town for a little bit because it was extremely hot. I'll try to do this video here real quick. You can see this is the gray trailer that we haul a lot of our stuff around in. And then if I come around here, this is why we talk about the wind. So you can see what the wind has done to this little building that we had here. It just tore it to pieces. Bent up, bent the whole thing right in half. Probably had, I don't know, 60, 70 mile an hour winds out here. And it just tore it up. You can see. So hopefully I won't get caught up in the sun too much. Come around here. This is my little exercise room. And you can see that the top caved in, but I believe, I don't know if it's salvageable or not. I think the wind tore it. Yeah, right here. So we have a water streaming system in there, so when it gets real hot, so you can see it's just devastated. It tore it all up. And this is our matting carpet down here on the floor. And we put a ton of rocks and we pegged it down really well, we thought, and it doesn't matter. The wind out here just gets ridiculous and just tears everything to shreds. If you're not here constantly watching it, which we weren't, we left for a few days, and it just devastated everything. Okay, just to give you a comparison and contrast here, this is the camp before we left because it was so hot, and when we came back the wind had so devastated everything, it actually bent this pole all the way back around in the other direction. So that'll give you an idea. So we took these poles, these fiberglass poles here that were used to for the little exercise room, the little octagon tent building, and we took them and put little lights on top of them, solar lights. And this is kind of what the camp looks like now. Some of them were pretty tall. Those are tiki torches. So we try to use it the best by taking those fiberglass poles right here out of this unit and using them for our solar lights at night. So it looks pretty cool. We took a bad situation and made something good out of it from this little tent. And it looks pretty nice at night. It's pretty spectacular. I think there's somewhat close to 40 little lights out in our camp, and that's what our camp looks like at this moment. And I moved my gym up a little bit closer to the gray trailer. I moved the pad underneath of it, so it looks pretty good right now. This is what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to try to do some backstory here of the two children that you saw in earlier storyboards from the crossover dancing together. They basically have ultimate power. They convinced their parents to bring them down to this little park. They freeze time. They had this little greeting meeting. They know at that point in time
that they're to be together for all eternity. So in their minds, they need to get married. Um, Thomas creates flowers basically out of nothing from the grass, tries to propose. They let time go back to normal and then approach their parents, and that's what you see in this this particular storyboard, where the mom saying, "No, man, you're leaving," and the parents are two types of different people financially. Sarah's family is extremely wealthy. Thomas's family, they're professors from at a university. They've been studying a lot of things in the history, including the first event, which happened many hundreds of years ago, and where the pyramids came from, where they were built. And that's kind of a backstory I won't go into too much right now, but you need to know that there's two groups. Sarah goes and is followed by Dieter. Because their family is wealthy, it's easy for them to follow. They find out who she is, and they're just waiting for, hopefully, for Thomas to come back, the two of them to come together. And Aron, who is Aron Eastwood, is the family that kind of takes Thomas in. And so Aron and Thomas are raised together as brothers, and that's the good guys, and they're the other side of the group, which is trying to keep Thomas away from Sarah, because they know what's going to happen, because the bad guys are going to immediately be there. So Thomas' group is the Eastwoods. Sarah's group is the socialite group. Thomas's group is poor. It's a family that's taken them in, that knows what's going on, although they don't try to reveal too much of that to Thomas. They keep that from him and even from Aron. But the two young men grow up together. And the first storyboard you're going to see is Aron coming late to basically the final law class, where they're at. The two of them are about to graduate, and that's what you see in that first storyboard. So, okay, as we continue to build on the story here of the crossover, the two young men are celebrating in this next storyboard because they just graduated from law school, and they're excited about that, of course. And so they're, and then we go into the next storyboard. They're actually at a car lot looking for a car. This is where they meet up with Mr. Nash. Mr. Nash is an attorney who's responsible to make sure that Thomas gets his money that his parents set up for him, his trust fund, to help them get through school. And they're actually giving him, Nash is actually giving them the last of that fund to Thomas, which just so happens to be enough money to buy them a kind of a rundown car, and also encourages them to come to, since they're now both lawyers, to come to, or actually finish law school. They got to take the bar, of course, to come to Florida and there interview, possibly go to work for the Nash's law firm. Now, this is all to keep them together and to keep an eye on Thomas. Thomas's mom and dad, basically when he was a child, gave him to the Eastwoods for two reasons. One, to raise, because they were that family is originally from Egypt, which is important, and to raise Thomas and protect him. And so the Eastwoods are a family that Thomas's mom and dad gave Thomas to raise and protect and to hide from Dieter and his group. So that's an important piece or a point that you need to know that helps you understand this is really a place for him to hide. Now these two young men are celebrating because they're about to go on a road trip, buy a car, and then the last two storyboards you're going to see is on the Sarah side. Lily is Sarah's grandmother. Sarah was wearing Lily's necklace the day that Thomas and her met, and that's why Thomas, seeing that necklace that he has, thinks her name is Lily. But Lily is the grandmother, and she's kind of a unique character, kind of special to Sarah because she believes Sarah. And this last storyboard here is her looking on, trying to Google, Yahoo, whatever, search to see if she can find anything on Thomas. And then the very last storyboard is an invitation, because even though Lily is hanging on to the past, Sarah is trying to move on. She's a young woman now. She's met a young man by the name of Donald, who is in love with her, and the two of them are about to get married, and that invitation is to that wedding. And this conversation is there's a conversation between Lily and Sarah, about Sarah telling Lily that she really needs to let it go and move on with her life. And so that's where we are. Those are the storyboards, caught up in our little wind experience out at Yuma, which was actually kind of windy here today. It just comes with being out here, but we still enjoy it a lot. Like and subscribe. Please tell your friends about us. And we'll be back with more storyboards and more adventures and more other things on our next vlog. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.
Imperial Dam, September 30th, 2021. Steve, waiting for his friends to come to the party.